Cherry fragrances have a way of being sweet, bold, and even seductive, whether they're juicy, tart, deep. There's just something about a good cherry fragrance. Come back and we'll discuss my top favorite cherry fragrance that leave lasting impressions, but you gotta come back. Come back. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video of Smell Good with Jenna. I'm, of course, Jenna. Thank you so much for stopping by. You know what you got to do. Like, comment, follow, and subscribe, and let's get right into it. It's been a minute, but I'm back with the jump off. You can hear it in my voice. It's a little hoarse still. Been battling the craziest flu. It's been a crazy month, I think, for a lot of people, but definitely had to recover. But I'm back, and I feel good enough to do a couple of videos, one of them being my top favorite cherry fragrances. There's something about a cherry fragrance, right, where it could be youthful, it can be seductive, it could be mysterious, romantic, everything under the sun. It's cherry fragrances I find are super, super versatile and is one of my favorite notes in a fragrance. So I decided to come up with a list and share it with you all. And yes, let me know in the comments what cherry fragrances you rock. And like I said, let's get right into it. First up, we have none other than Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. Can you really have a top cherry fragrance list without Lost Cherry? Probably not. This catches a lot of heat because of the longevity and whatnot, but it's still very much a staple in my collection. Lost Cherry, I found out from someone that this was a joke of a release. It wasn't supposed to meant to be taken seriously. I don't know if this is known knowledge or what have you, but I felt like that was something that was important to mention, but it took a life of its own, and now it's the classic that we all know and love, or some might hate, I don't know, but I love it. It's a delicious, creamy, luscious type of cherry. It's almost like a vanillic type of cherry, a little bit of nuttiness, very little, nothing too prominent. And I think it's beautiful. Like I said, it catches a lot of heat because of the longevity, but I find it does pretty well on my skin, especially when I layer it with other things. And I just absolutely love Lost Cherry. So if you don't have this in your collection, or don't at least have a dupe of it, what are you doing? It's Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. Next up, we have from BDK, Rouge Smoking. This was a blind along with Gris Charnel from BDK. Everyone raved about this fragrance. When I started first getting into fragrance collecting, like really being serious about it and finding out about niche fragrances and whatnot, this was a fragrance that I heard pretty often, and I was just so intrigued by the juice. I don't know if I really came across a juice that looked like this in the beginning of my collecting, so I was definitely intrigued. And like I said, it was a blind buy. I thought this would be more of like a smoky type of fragrance, but instead it's very fizzy. Reminds me of like a cola or a Dr. Pepper or root beer type of scent. I personally really, really love this. It's a little peppery as well, but I think this is a gorgeous cherry scent. It's not your average cherry scent, and I think this is really, really unisex. I don't find the longevity to be that great, but again, I think this is a really, really nice scent that one can have in their collection if they're looking for a cherry fragrance. I'm interested to smell the extreme version, but that'll probably be later on in the year. But you can't go wrong with the OG, and that is BDK's Rouge Smoking. Next up, we have from Kayali, Lovefest Burning Cherry. I absolutely love this fragrance. It's beautiful, it's deep, it's seductive, it's sweet, but it's not sweet in the sense of a fruity type of cherry. It's more sweet on the gourmand side, I believe, with the praline in it. It's beautiful. I love layering this fragrance with cinnamon type of scents such as Angel Share, and also from Kayali Invite Only. Beautiful pairing. Something about the cherry and the cinnamon, especially during the holiday season. Very festive and seductive. Beautiful, beautiful pairings. One thing about Kayali fragrances, they're great for layering, and that's the case with Lovefest. So if you haven't already checked out from Kayali, Lovefest Burning Cherry. Next up, we have from Initio, Narcotic Delight. I had to refrain myself last year when this first came out not to purchase this because It was love at firstness. This is booziness in a bottle. You smell the cognac in this fragrance, the smokiness of the tobacco, and then it dries down into a beautiful cherry vanilla type of scent. It's gorgeous. It's not your average cherry fragrance. If you're looking for something for a little bit more mysterious and unique, then Narcotic Delight is definitely the one you should be looking at. So if you haven't already, go ahead and check out Initio's Narcotic Delight. Next up, we have for Mind Games, French Defense. If you've been on my page for the past year or so, you know I am a stan at this point for Mind Games fragrances. French Defense is no question a banger from the house. I love this fragrance. This is definitely a cherry scent that lasts and leaves a scent trail. It's beautiful. It's a little woodsy. I wrote it here with it's a little woodsy and has an amber dry down, but it's a beautiful cherry. I think this is a cherry that I know I see a lot of men don't necessarily gravitate to cherry fragrances, but I think this is a really, really good unisex cherry fragrance that women and men will both enjoy. Beautiful. I love actually pairing it with Narcotic Delight. It's just a sexy, deep, juicy cherry that will get you compliments. So if you haven't already, go ahead and check out Mind Games French Defense. Next up, we have from Fragrance Dubois Serene. This was a fragrance that was not on my radar, but I had to have it once I smelled it. I was absolutely obsessed with this, getting this fragrance in my collection and getting it for the right price. But once I got it, I was excited. This is a beautiful fragrance. Although this is from their feminine line and this is geared towards women, I wouldn't be surprised if men were to try this out. I think the dry down in here reminds me a little bit of Parfum de Marly's Hautaine. If you smell both, probably be like, what are you talking about? But just walk with me here. I think this is, it's creamy. The cherry is creamy, yet it's smoky with the incense dancing around in the background, and the oud isn't too strong in here. It just makes it absolutely perfect and wearable. It's a really good fragrance. A lot of people I've seen reviews say it smells similar to or has that same profile of Baccarat Rouge. I can see that, but this is a gorgeous cherry scent, very different from anything else that I've mentioned on this list. And although it's very feminine leaning, I can see a man just happening to try it and being intrigued by it. So if you haven't already, check out Fragrance Dubois Serene. And lastly, we have from Creed, Carmina. This is a very niche type of scent. It's not your average cherry fragrance at all. I mean, I think this List Pretty was versatile with the type of cherry scents, but this is extremely distinctive. It's almost like a chamois rose type of cherry scent where you get the cherry and rose. It's almost medicinal, but it smells really good. It's not for everybody, but once you can understand the beauty and the complexity of Carmina, it's definitely something that one should have in their collection. So if you haven't already, go ahead and check out Creed's Carmina. And that is my video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know some of your favorite cherry fragrances in the comments. If you haven't already, like, comment, follow, and subscribe. And always remember, the best compliment one can get is that you smell so good.